27 temples were destroyed to produce this mosque. And the very word Quwwatul Islam means the might of Islam. The whole idea was that the invader must impress upon the invaded that they are powerful. And a sort of terror situation was created by it, which perhaps any invader might do. Now, interesting thing is that this is the destruction level of these pillars, and it is from this layer that we found the glazed pottery, which I will show you presently. And the layer which has the material of destruction is of about 1500 AD or thereabouts, because we have got plenty of glazed pottery from this, which is so typical of the Muslim period in India. You see, this kind of pottery never came into India prior to, say, the 13th century. So the destruction is datable to a period about 1500 AD or so. You can't be more precise than that, because pottery has a much wider range. But the destruction of the structure connected with those pillars took place around that period.
Professor Saab, how come this circumstantial evidence has not been brought to light so far?
Well, 2 years ago, I submitted a report to the government through the Director General, and maybe they are thinking of publishing it as and when it suits, or as and when it is possible. Why it has not been done so far, I really cannot comment on that.
Dr. Saab, can you please tell me that how is it that you can prove that a temple stood below the Babri Masjid?
Well, as we know, there are three sciences. The cross-checking of the evidence from all the three would give us the right kind of results. Cross-check this literary evidence with the art history evidence, and the art history evidence with the archaeological evidence. And we found that the temple which is listed here actually faced east. And the reason was very simple. Rama belonged to the Surya Vansha, and the first ray of the sun should therefore fall on the Garbhagriha image. The temple obviously faced east. It had to face east. The evidence is very clear from the geomorphological studies of the site itself. Right at the back of the mosque, where originally the temple existed, has a large ditch, almost 40 feet deep, where a branch of the river Saryu once flowed. Obviously, nothing could be built there at this point, and therefore the Garbhagriha has to be there, where the present mosque is standing, or the present central dome is there. We took very close pictures of the 14 pillars of the temple which exist still in the mosque complex. These sculptures belong to 11th century AD. It was therefore clear to us that the yakshas which carry the kalasha or Purnaghata, the Dwarapala having a trident or trishul in one hand, all go to prove that here was a temple that existed from 11th century through the 15th century AD. One thing more, the stone, popularly known as Kasauti, but actually it was ashistos, which is normally found in the Nepal Tarai and parts of Kumaon Garhwal area. It is nowhere found in the Gangetic Valley. It is also to be noted that this stone was almost exclusively used by the people during this period for making only images of gods and goddesses. It was a very valuable stone. All the circumstantial evidence of competitive religion would make it more a temple devoted to Vishnu or Rama, or the Rama form of Vishnu.
Supposing the excavation, that disputed site, was handed over to you and you were given free rein for complete excavation, so how would you proceed and what do you hope to find?
Well, it is a very hypothetical question. But if we are given a free hand and asked to excavate below the mosque, it can only be done when the mosque is removed bodily and the whole land is given to us. We hope to get the remains of 84 pillars in the form of bases, which we have already encountered, at least half a dozen of them, in the excavations conducted on the south of this mosque. We also expect to get sculptured panels, because our experience has shown that whenever a temple was destroyed, the sculptured stones were reused in the construction of the mosques by putting the sculptured face of the stones upside down or behind, and the unsculptured face is facing the inside of the structure called mosque. There they put the plaster and they make it smooth. So in case it is removed, we expect to get those sculptured stones which may have been used in the construction of the mosque. We also hope to get the remains of some other structures, if they were at all there, of a temple, because a temple did not consist only of the Garbhagriha, but also subsidiary structures and subsidiary temples. If it was, for example, Panchayatan type, then we may get the remains of 4 subsidiary shrines. Now, if it is done, nobody will be more happy than ourselves.
It's a beautiful idea. Let us really, who knows, because this something good may come out of all this dispute. We may discover a beautiful, archaeologically important and historically important edifice. Maybe the virtual palace of actually prehistoric time of Ram's time might be discovered down below. Who knows? Let us go and excavate right up to the 4th layer, because every time it is said that some people came and rebuilt on it. So let us see that. That is what we must do. And I think that can be done. Initially, let us have this decision that it was an Indian thing, and I think this will provide a best ground for the Muslims, religious Muslims, right from Imam to everyone, to say that, look, if this is so, then after all it was a napak place on which no masjid initially should have been built, and therefore we agree that from this place the masjid should be removed. And then we can give a turn and say, let us now build a beautiful masjid nearby and a beautiful Ram temple, but as far as this mound is concerned, let us excavate it for archaeological purpose. I think that would be the best solution.
Solutions are there for the seekers to find, if indeed our leaders are seeking a solution. How long will the common man quench with his life his leaders' hunger for power and votes? How long will the country's stability, development, and its secular ideals be sacrificed at the altar of political calculations? Just when India was entering an era of modernism and economic growth, the Ayodhyas and Mandals have relit the flames of casteism and communalism, which, very conveniently for our politicians, covers up their inability and inefficiency in dealing with primary issues like poverty, illiteracy, unemployment, and corruption. With electoral decisions being made on caste and communal moods, we depart further from secularism into a divided and unstable India. The Ayodhya issue is a condemnation of our whole political, legal, and social ethos.
Over Ayodhya, an unholy calm prevails as it lies somnambulant, awaiting the final siege. Prayers continue to take place on the banks of the river Saryu. Its mute waters flow on, tainted with the blood of the innocent, spilt in the power play of our leaders.